Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I'm Dr. Andrea Christian Parks. Welcome to my channels. I'm glad you're here because I have some things I need to share. Just came to me this morning while I was in that kind of half sleep, half awake, waiting for a word. And God said, "This is what I want you to talk about." So, for those of you who don't know what I do, I am a physician, trained OBGYN, life and weight loss coach. And I believe that God has given us everything we need for life and godliness, and that includes weight loss. And so I think when we honor God with our bodies, with our eating, our bodies do come to a correct weight for us. But that means we have to honor God with our eating. So that's what I talk about. That's what I teach. That's what I help my clients with. And if you've been here and you've been watching my videos, you already know that. And if you're new, I'm glad you're here. Welcome. You are welcome here. So, what am I going to talk about now? So, the words that I got this morning were so much volume. I can't do it all in one video. So, I'm going to have to just break it up over the next few weeks. But for now, for today, I wanted to start with one of the things that God said to me this morning. So, let me set the scene. When I work at the hospital, I work 24-hour shifts. So I was at the hospital all day yesterday, taking care of patients, going to the operating room, doing surgery, all the things, right? And I was so fortunate last night. I went to bed at a certain time in the call room. And, I'm there. If anything happens, anybody comes in, they need me, they call me. But last night, they didn't really need me. I was there. Things went fine. Nobody needed me to get up and see anybody. So I was asleep. So then I wake up early this morning and I'm just laying there kind of, okay, do I get up? Should I start packing my stuff up to go home? Or, what should I get ready to do? And God just started talking. And I was like, whoa, okay. And for those of you who watch regularly, there was no video last week. I didn't do one. And I really struggled because I thought, I committed to doing these videos, doing my blog posts on a weekly basis, probably about 10 years ago. And I've been doing them faithfully ever since, with very few exceptions. But last week, I got 3 different times when God said, through different people, I had one that happened in my therapy session. My therapist talked about needing to pause. And I was like, I don't like that. I didn't, some of us just run and run and run. And the concept of pausing sounds like stop, which is me. And I don't like that. So I was like, ugh. Then there was something that came up, I think, in midweek church service. And it was Psalm 46:10, which says, "Be still and know that I am God." And I went, uh-oh, that's 2. And right this second, I can't remember the third one. It was another one, though. It was another, like right behind when my therapist said something about, there was something about pausing. I think it was in one of my devotionals, one of the books I was reading. It just happened that the quiet time I was having was talking about pausing. And I went, uh-oh. Okay, got to stop. So last week was a pause. Last week was me every day, like no appointments, canceled everything, just kind of, it's like, here we go. We're going to sit, we're going to listen. Because what I want to do is keep running and doing things and figuring things out and making things happen and considering and using my mind to create. And God said, no. I get to lead. You follow. So you sit and slow down. What does this have to do with what I want to talk about today? All right. So I have been going from thing to thing to thing, teaching, educating, explaining, and what I've really been wanting to do and really been called to do over the last couple of years is to shift from me making it all happen to me really following God first, letting him lead and me responding every step of the way, to a level that I haven't done before. Not just, okay, here's the big plan and I'm just going to execute. No. On a day-to-day, hour-by-hour basis. the last time I really, really focused like that in my relationship with God was when I originally lost my 60 pounds of weight. So you see how this is starting to connect? When I did that, my oldest just turned 18. So it was about 17 years ago. Every hour by hour, I was focusing on honoring God with my eating. Am I eating because I'm hungry? Am I stopping when I'm full? For every bite, I was focusing on, God, what do you want here? And it radically changed my relationship with God. And the byproduct was I lost 60 pounds. It was incredible. But now God is calling me to bring that into my everyday work, not just my eating also, but in what I do here with you. So, very interesting that what's been coming up for me recently is it's fascinating. You know, you fool around on social media, and I mess with social media because that's how I talk to you, right? So I have accounts, and mostly what I do is business stuff. I don't really fool around a lot with just, you know, people talking, chatting. I try to do that one-on-one and text message and phone calls and stuff like that. But when you are on social media, you get stuff show up on your feed. The algorithm kicks in, right? So the algorithm has figured out that I am a perimenopausal woman. Okay. And is feeding me, and that I talk about weight loss. I talk about weight. And so now I'm getting all this perimenopausal, menopausal weight stuff in my feed. It's fascinating. I got stuff that says, oh, try the purple peel extract, something or other. I don't know what it is. It will melt the fat off of you. It's just this metabolic fat burner. And then different supplements, or try this. Oh, don't do this kind of exercise. Do this kind of exercise because this kind of exercise doesn't work for women in their 40s and 50s, or buy this program, or all the things. And it's funny because while I know that the truth is there's a little bit of something that works for everybody, but the truth is that most of the quick weight loss, the, you know, gimmicks, the supplements, the whatever, they're really money makers. Long term, and actually for most of them in the short term, they don't work. And we all know this because we've tried them. We've purchased them. We have bottles of supplements. We have all this weight. What am I trying to say? All of this exercise gear. And there's nothing wrong with exercise. Exercise is good for many things. But for weight loss, not the number one. The number one is your eating, how you're eating, how much you're eating, when you're eating, all those sorts of things. And we think that by looking at these programs, looking at these, oh, that somebody has figured it out and figured out the hack and how to make this really work and quickly. And it's that quickly that gets very attractive to us. We want to just, okay, I know we gained this weight and we've been dealing with weight for years and sometimes decades at a time, and yet we want it to just fall off. And we go, what? Yeah, let's do it. Somebody's found the one molecule that's going to work, or the one combination of fat burning chemicals that's going to, put it in my body, and all of a sudden the fat will just melt off. And people talk about, oh, the pink salt thing. I don't even know what that was that I saw. But this woman was like, oh, and I had to eat more pizza and stuff so that I didn't lose weight too fast. And I went, what? It's wild. Some of the stuff that's out there is wild. And honestly, we know better. We know better, because if it worked, really, if it worked, why do we have such an obesity problem in the United States? For sure, at least not just the United States, but most of us are in the United States that are, seeing what I'm doing. So why do we believe it? Because it's so attractive to our brain to get that, oh, there's a solution, there's an answer. Why? Because so much of what we think is that there's a scientific answer. Listen, as a physician, I love science. I'm a science girly. It is from first grade, favorite class. Always loved biology and chemistry. Even when I got to organic chemistry, which everybody wanted to hate on. In the beginning, I was like, oh, and then once it kind of clicked in, I was like, oh, this stuff is awesome. It's so much fun. Didn't really love physics, but that's because I never really got math to the place where it was fun for me. And physics is a lot of math. But I love science. Love to have the explanations. But here's what I've figured out about science. Science is an amazing explanation for how God works. Science is our understanding to the level that we can to explain what already is, what God has already done. And so I think it's really important that we remember to keep science and the scientific explanations and functions in their correct place. Because when what we do is we go, oh, there's a scientific explanation, there's a scientific solution, there's a medication, there's a pill, there's a supplement, there's a thing that will fix this for me. And it completely eliminates the need for reliance and trust in God. I can almost promise you, almost 100% of the time, it's not going to work. And if it does work, it's going to work temporarily. You know, everybody's very excited about the GLP-1 medications, and I'm not hating on them. I think they have their place. I think they are very powerful medications. I think, and there are some risks. Everything in medicine has risks. Everything. But, and I don't tell people, I have clients on GLP-1s. It's fine. It's not a problem. But all of them will tell you the exact same thing. If you just, any doctor who prescribes them, if you just take a GLP-1 medication and then you stop it, whatever weight loss you achieved while on it, you will regain. And there's two major reasons for that. One is that the medication is doing something to suppress your appetite. And so when you take it away, then all of the noise in your brain about food comes back and you eat more. And so you gain your weight back. So again, remember, this is a matter of food and how much food you're eating, how much you're not eating. And the medication helps with that. The thing is, when you're able to work with your mind to help it process the issues and the thoughts that you have around food, then the GLP-1 is an assist instead of the whole weightlifter for you as far as doing the work of weight loss. So the work I end up doing with clients who are on GLP-1s is to help them work with their brains so that the GLP-1 is not the only help they have at working with their weight. And so then they can use less of the medication and use more of the work that they've done with their brain to support long-term permanent weight loss. So science is not a bad thing. Science is just part of an explanation of what really works. Finding the right amount of food for you, for your body, for what your height, your bone structure needs to support is a very individual process. The problem with a lot of these science-y things, the pills, the supplements, the programs, is that they're not individual. They don't tell you, you can eat 12 bites of this thing, not 13, because you don't need 13, you need 12, because they don't know how active you are, how much sleep you got, what kind of food, oil did you put in no idea. So the only way to completely individualize your eating is to focus inward and let your body explain to you how much it needs and when it needs it. And that takes a whole level of focus and paying attention that you may not have ever done. And the only way you're going to drop into that space and sustain it, you got to have a really good reason and a really strong belief and trust that your body can help you do this. And the best reason I can think of to trust your body is to trust that God designed your body in the best way. So it's funny. We keep looking. We're searching for the right diet, the latest plan, the quickest weight loss. And the reason why it's so hard for us to just drop into the space and say, okay, God, I trust you, and I'm just going to listen to my body when it says hunger, then I'll eat. And when it says I'm full, I will stop, is because it just doesn't seem complex enough. Never mind that behind the scenes, all the stuff that your body is doing is incredibly complex and results in how much you're hungry, and when you're full. It's incredibly complex, which is why it can't be cookbooked. It can't be one size fits all. It can't be do my program and I guarantee you're going to lose weight. That's not how that works. Only God knows exactly how your body is supposed to work. Now, we all have similarities because we're humans and we have hormones and we have enzymes and we have all the things that are working in a certain way in our bodies, but how much and how often and like that sort of nuance, that's individual. So, I want to offer you a scripture today. It's really tempting to lean on our own brains, to lean on our intellect, to lean on what we think we understand. And science is a cool explanation for a lot of things. And then we go, I understand why it works that way. And that's really excellent. That was so much of my job as a physician with patients, is to explain why things are happening the way they're happening. Why is this happening in my body? How are we going to fix it? And why is that going to work? And why did this go wrong in the first place? And if you're fortunate enough to ever have had a physician who can really explain to you what's going on in English, not in medical language, in English, you know how important that is and how much calmer you feel when you think you understand what's going on with you. So I want to bring that calm to you in the form of trusting in God, as opposed to whatever scientific explanations sometimes we think we have for weight loss. So rather than trusting in our brains only, not just, our brains and our thinking were given to us so that we can understand, but primarily over our own understanding, we're called to trust in the Lord and know that He knows exactly how much food, what we need, that He will prompt us, He will let us know, He will guide us. Okay? Science is a tool. It's just an explanation of what already is. So remember this. There's a scripture I want you to look at, and it's in Psalms 20. Psalms 20, verses 6 and 7 says, "Now this I know, the Lord gives victory to His anointed. He answers him from His heavenly sanctuary with the victorious power of His right hand. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God." I just want you to hold on to that. Yes, there's science explanations, there's medications, there's all kinds of support that we can look at and we can understand and we can explain, but understand that above all of that, God is more than any scientific explanation, any medication. God is greater than all that. And so for us, we can use the things we know, we can understand what we understand, but above our understanding, we want to trust in the Lord our God and allow Him to guide us in how we eat and when we stop eating. And that practice of obeying hunger and fullness is our spiritual act of worship. And the byproduct is the weight loss that comes. Permanent, long-term, as we get closer and stronger in our connection and our relationship with God. So that's all I got for today. I love you all very much. We're going to come back. We're going to talk for the next few weeks, I think, about abundance. Very fun. Very fun. God has a lot to say, and I want to give it all to you, but I can't do it all in one day. So I will see you next week. I'm going to put my little website here. If you want more support, you want to binge some of the blog posts, you want to go to my YouTube channel, watch all the videos. If you want to download my ebook, you can get that off of my website. You can download my workbook off of the YouTube channel because all that's free. If you know for sure you need help, you want somebody to walk with you, keep you accountable, help you walk out this walk of faith, for weight loss and you're ready, you're like, I need support, I want a coach, I need help, that is what I do. Come onto my website, get on my calendar link, and make an appointment. Let's get your consultation done and let's get moving. All right. I will see you soon. Lots of love. And remember Psalms 26:7. That's your scripture for today. Bye, y'all.